Hi everyone, it's Elaine here and welcome back to the Homespa Beauty Podcast. I've had a request and it's a topic that most of us can relate to, and it's ideas to tackle back pain. Now, if you've never had back pain, you're lucky. But even though a lot of us don't have chronic back pain or back pain that requires medical intervention, I'm sure we've all experienced it to some level. Now, it's so common that the advice actually keeps changing throughout the years, but there's lots of advice to be found. So if you haven't spoke to your doctor and you try to manage it yourself, then you might find some ideas here that are quite new. But as I always say, this is not medical advice. If you have an ongoing issue, it might be something that does require your doctor to help you. So please don't avoid it. If you think that it's something that's just going to become chronic, go and see your GP and take some advice there. But the advice used to be, if you had any form of back pain, rest it, lie down and don't move. Now it's the complete opposite. We've realised now that unless you've got something serious that needs a different style of treatment, the best thing you can do for your back is keep it mobile, active and supple. So if you do have any back pain and you can, get up, get moving and just try and release that pain as much as you can. Now, I actually had some recent experience of back pain, and it will be no surprise to anyone who has to do quite a lot of physical work. I had a very long day of a lot of massage. Now, much more than normal, but you do occasionally get those days. It was about 7 or 8 hours straight. Really enjoyed the day, but I knew even though I was making sure that my posture was okay and making sure that I was stretching out, after a day like that, you can't avoid it. I liken it to doing a lot of exercise classes. Even though you feel good at the time and you're doing everything right, at some point after those exercise classes the next day, there's a few muscles that hadn't had a workout for a while and they let you know that next day they've had a workout. So that's how I felt the next day. Immediately after, about, again, 8 hours of treatments non-stop. So a lot of full body massage, a lot of back massage, some facials. I was standing up for them. At the end of the night, started to get the lower back pain and a touch of neck pain, which again you would expect. So the hot bath works for that, and we'll talk about that later. But then the next day it becomes more of the ache, so the mid to lower back ache. And I felt quite stiff when I woke up in the morning. So what I decided to do, which you might think is absolutely crazy, is I woke up at 6:30, an early riser anyway, and decided just to get straight on and do the cleaning. So I was dusting, I was hoovering, I was polishing, cleaning all the kitchen, the bathrooms, and I decided that that was actually the best way, because just waking up and feeling stiff and then just going about my business and sitting down and having cups of tea and just sitting on a settee, that's actually not going to help. And believe it or not, even though it wouldn't have been my first choice to be doing cleaning at 7 a.m, it worked. Now, I'm not saying that the pain went away completely, but because I didn't actually have a condition and it was more just achiness, like tiredness through overworking the muscles, moving about and mobilising the area worked wonders. And I went from being quite stiff and quite sore to feeling absolutely fine. Just that sort of mild achiness where you know that you've been working the day before. So I'm not recommending that you get up at 6:30 and start your cleaning, but that's just one example of when it worked for me, just to get mobile and get moving. But I can promise you some of my ideas and recommendations are far more relaxing and enjoyable than that. So some recommendations for dealing with back pain. Again, if it's postural or maybe it's the way you work, your seat might not be very comfortable at work, or you have to stand for a long time, or even a lot of driving. First recommendation is, just as I was saying, try and move when you can. Get a stretch, move your neck and arms, stretch right out, change positions, and just try to avoid the issues that you know are going to get you into that position where you'll have the postural issues. So if you find yourself starting to slump or your back starting to curve, consciously think about straightening it up. Take a stretch, move your neck from side to side, swing your arms about, just catch yourself before you find you've slipped into that bad position. Another recommendation is to find some gentle exercise that really works on strengthening the back. So you don't need to become a yoga expert or a Pilates professional, but a yoga class or any videos on YouTube that work for you. Or sometimes people still use that favourite DVD that they love. They just go back to it again and again. But more often than not, it is just little snippets of videos now. They're so handy just to pop on. Find yoga that works for you. Go to a local class. Pilates. Swimming, that's a great one too, because it's very gentle and yet it's very effective in building up your muscles, and it's not high impact because the water is protecting you. These are all great for strengthening your core, protecting your back, developing those muscles. And if you can, try and do them a few times a week, and you might get to the point where they become a favourite point of your week and you enjoy going to them, because it's not only benefiting your back, it's also excellent for your mental health and wellness. You start to see results. It's a little bit of me time. It's multi-layered as to why these are so good for you, but ultimately we are focusing on the back and strengthening the back and minimising back pain. What you might also choose to do is visit a chiropractor if you've got specific back issues, muscle and joint problems, and take advice from a professional, or possibly an osteopath if it's wanting them to treat the wider issues and just take a look at your body as a whole and try and just get everything back into balance. So that's definitely something to consider too. Now, as I always say, speak to your GP, especially if you don't know why your back is consistently aching, if it really is affecting your life, if you're having to take pain medication and you know that it's possibly too frequent for what it really should be for you. Your GP is there to help you. Now, you've got to remember that you might think that the back pain is caused by one thing, but it could actually be something else. So you can't self-diagnose. We are not the professionals. Even though we are trained in my industry in a lot of treatments, we are not medically trained. Obviously, if someone's coming into the industry and they are medically trained, that's completely different. But on the whole, when we train as massage therapists, we have some medical knowledge. We train to a certain level, but we are not doctors. So we can guide you and we can offer you advice, but we will never diagnose. So make sure if it's something that goes beyond what you know is normal for you, take yourself to the doctor. As I've said many times before, heating gels, waxes, muscle rubs, muscle balms, these all get heat into key areas that you know are particularly achy. So just rubbing a little bit on can work wonders for that. Hot water bottles, warm baths, wheat packs and heat packs, just sitting on the area can really help to warm up and loosen muscles. Remember, you can also use ice packs too, and you can use ice gels and cooling rubs. Again, take advice and be guided by your doctor if it's heat or cool that would be more beneficial for you, because sometimes you think it's one, but it's actually the other. And it's when you see a medical professional that they'll say, I think you should ice that, or I think you need some heat on that. Generally though, when we've got just an ache or a pain, a bit of heat can work wonders for that. That's the sort of basics that we look into. We just start with a little bit of heat and just see if that warms it up and eases it off. Backs respond brilliantly to massage. It's very hard to self-massage your back, so think about investing in a local salon or a local massage therapist that you could possibly build up a relationship with. If you know that your back benefits from regular massages, but there's no one that you know that can just do it either in the house, or again, you're on your own and you don't actually have the ability to massage your own back, it can sometimes become quite costly if it starts to add up. So if you've got any local beauty therapists, massage therapists or salons, they might actually do blocks of treatments where you can actually save money on the normal price of them. So they might do a block of 10 could be discounted if you buy it in advance compared to when you have them individually. Or they might have a loyalty scheme where you can get something free. Could be like a free treatment when you buy a certain amount. It could be that if you are an ongoing client and you've got a commitment and you possibly book in advance, if you maybe book one massage every month, but you connect and confirm that booking and pay it before you leave the salon, you may get a discount for that. Sometimes you can ask if they don't say it, because sometimes if you know that you're going to be a regular and they're going to have that commitment from you, there's no harm in asking. What's the worst they can say? It would be a very polite no, but sometimes you don't ask, you don't get. You can also go to local colleges and training establishments where they might need models. Sometimes the models have the treatment free of charge, or they get it at a heavily discounted amount. And what you've got to remember is you'll be getting a really good treatment. Yes, that student will be learning, but what you've got to bear in mind is that their lecturer or their teacher knows that they are at the level where they are ready to pass that qualification. So you're going to have a good treatment to a level that is acceptable for industry. And the only thing that you might have to bear in mind with is that you might have to have little breaks in your treatment if for any reason the student gets a little bit confused, or it might be a bit longer than normal if the student needs to take their time. And it's really just about you understanding that for that discount, in return, you're helping somebody to achieve their qualification. But there are a lot of people who get some really nice treatments that would be very expensive just out in the general high street, because they are prepared to express that patience and work with that student in return for either a free treatment or a heavily discounted treatment. So that's another one to think about. Overall though, the massages for your back that could be very beneficial are, again, your Swedish, your body massage, your deep tissue, because your therapist will be working on those tight muscles, those bands of muscle that can be so tight at the base of the back. You can get knots and nodules, and in the very simplistic terms, does your neck ever feel crunchy? Or you move your shoulder and you can hear all the cracks. These are things that we can help to massage. I'm not saying for one moment that the massage will remove everything, but you will get some relief from it. So Swedish, deep tissue, these all help to really work in and use your kneading moves and your effleurage just to warm up the areas, and your frictions just to get in there and try and loosen off. And you get petrissage, and all these different areas can be worked on with these different movements just to really get a result. Warm up that back, see some erythema and get some nice loosening there. And when you're finished that massage, normally you feel absolutely amazing and so relaxed. And then when you move, you start to possibly move your head from side to side, move your shoulders up and down. And more often than not, unless it's something really chronic, you feel a notable difference. Now again, it might be temporary because you might then go back into the postural issues that you've got, or it might be an ongoing condition, but just that moment after the massage, and hopefully for at least a few days after it, the loosening and the wellness benefits are definitely there to see. As I've said in previous podcasts, hot stones goes a bit deeper, so that feels lovely too, because you're introducing either the heat or the coolness, but mostly with hot stones it's the heat. You can also use some massage tools. My personal favourite, if you listen to me a lot, you'll know that I love Audiosonic, because it's using vibrations and frequencies to really get in there and help to work down deeper into the tissues than you can do manually, and it can have some very effective results. You can also have some infrared treatments where you can actually get some heat into the area before you perform any massage. And again, just using that and tying it in with your treatment plan can have very notable results. If you have an aromatherapy massage, again, if it's clinical and your aromatherapist is blending for you, then different oils can be very effective. Black pepper oil is very warming. Frankincense can be excellent for reducing inflammation. Peppermint is very cooling, so if there's any inflammation in joints there, or you're looking for just overall easing of pain, just picking the right blend of aromatherapy oils can have dramatic results. And again, if you want to commit, then you can actually have a course of treatments, and you may see even more effective results through having regular aromatherapy massages, where not only are you working from the massage element to tackle that back pain, but you're also using the essential oils and their benefits to sink in to the skin and the muscles and the tissues and get results there too. And again, that works much longer than just through the time of the massage. The effects of the essential oils go on for hour upon hour after your treatment is finished. And finally, if you really don't have the ability or you don't want to go for a massage, then buying some of the pillows that are so available now, you can see them everywhere online. I'm sure there are still lots of stores that you can go to where you can buy massage pillows in all shapes and sizes now. And they can have the shiatsu part to them, they can have the vibrations, they can have the infrared and the heat, different speeds, different movements. So many different styles of massage pillow that you can buy. You can also buy things that don't require any charge or any batteries or any electrical plugs, such as another new favourite of mine, the Body Buddy, sometimes called the Back Buddy, and that's just a piece of kit that has different knots and nodules on it, and what you do is you find the one that suits the area on your back that you really want to work on, and you can hook into it, you can press down on it, you can work in circles, you can move up and down the back. You are in control of the areas that you need to work on, and it's like a very effective introduction into pressure point massage where you are learning your own pressure points in your body for where you want to work. So if you want to have something that you can just have to hand and doesn't require any charge at all, then something like that could be excellent. So it's a huge topic, back pain. It's never ending, all the different things that you could look into to treat it. But I hope that you found that interesting, just an insight into some of the main ways in our industry that we can treat the back. So as always, I hope you found it insightful. And if you want any other recommendations or you'd like to request a podcast topic, just drop me a line. And other than that, have a lovely day and I'll see you again soon.